Okay, the Tricentennial Committee of the Town of Southborough is now in session. It's Thursday, June 20th, and 6:36 p.m. Um, so the first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes of May 15th. Entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
I have to be brutally honest and say I didn't read it all.
It looked good. I think they covered all the points.
Yeah, I'm glad we kept it to 2 pages. Should never be more than that. Our meetings aren't that long or that complex. So the motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Morris, yes.
Martin's, yes.
Burns Fiore, yes.
Blaschke, aye.
Bennington, aye.
Okay, the next item on the agenda should be a fun one. Discussion of branding for celebrations, the logo and the tagline. And Patty, Vanessa and I were talking this afternoon how the three ones that you sent to us, all three are just really very professional looking.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
They were outstanding. So many great options, Patty. Really great options.
Good.
Does anybody have a way to show them on the screen? Page 1, 3?
Yes, I can.
Is that what we want to do, is look at all three and then get our comments on each?
Well, Patty did some modifications based on feedback. So the latest ones that you just sent out, Patty, were terrific.
When did you send those?
Put those up.
I sent it out this afternoon.
414. There's three.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see those.
Okay, so I can screen share.
Oh, shoot, I lost it.
Okay, are we seeing it?
Yes.
So the top one in the middle, was that page?
So the top one is because the people that I heard from in regard to the 6 options that I sent out, the feedback I got was both people liked that as their first choice. And we just did some tweaking to it. And the other ones were the second and third choices, although I think I might have them reversed. So we did a little tweaking to all of them, changed a couple of fonts, yada, yada. And this is kind of where we are currently at. We can make additional changes. That's fine. But this is where we're currently at, with the one at the top being, I think, people's favorite at the moment.
From all the feedback that I got on Facebook when I reached out to the South community page, that asking what they wanted to see featured, those were the 3 prominent buildings that they thought should be. And I can't believe you were able to incorporate them so well in all of them.
So I do have to make note that, when I drew those buildings, they're fairly large.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is that the lines on them are going to be pretty fine as we reduce it down. So my thought is that there's essentially going to be 2 different versions. There's going to be the larger version that would be used for, any kind of banner, signage, blah, blah, blah. And then I would probably have to go in and simplify the drawings a little bit to have it properly reduced so that it could be used like for the size of a letterhead or something.
Mm-hmm.
So let's I really like the colors.
Love the colors.
They're very friendly, and the green, I think, keeps it more little bit more alive. And so, yeah, Pat, I'm glad you said that there'd be kind of two versions, the bigger version with more detail, and then a smaller version that would still capture everyone would know that the town hall, the church, and
Yeah,
the library.
hopefully. I mean, I hope they look like them.
They totally, in my
kind of
opinion, they
drew
do.
them from photographs that I went out and took.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what they are, or then maybe you're new to the town, but those are really, as soon as you see it, you know what they are.
I think the first one, I also really like it. Now that I'm just really staring at it, there's one small thing I'm noting.
Yeah,
Okay. In the drawing of the townhouse, in the lower left corner, on all the others, note how it stands in the foreground of the blue circle, right?
yes.
So here, you look in the library, it stands in the foreground of the blue circle, but the like right angle of the lower left corner of the townhouse is cut off. It's behind the
It's behind the banner.
Ribbon, yeah.
If all you
You
did,
wanna
I'd be interested to see if like you, and I really think just whatever is up to you. What do you think looks better? But I think it would look a little bit sharper if it actually like stood in front of that gray banner.
Okay,
too.
so do you now see just that one? I don't know what I'm screen sharing.
Okay,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your cursor
Mhm.
right there,
All
right
right.
there. Yeah.
You mean like that? I would have to chop off, or actually, we could just move the building.
Okay, let's see if I can show it on my phone.
But if
No,
you move the building, it won't be symmetrical with the library.
See, I
I'm not
need,
talking about having it moving it. It's just there's
well,
got to be something
Bringing
in
it to the front.
bringing it
I
to the
did bring
front.
it to the front.
So
Oh.
see how the left corner, I see what he's saying, is chopped off by the banner.
Yeah, it's chopped off by
Wait,
the
you're not seeing this. Are you seeing the one that has all three on it? Or are you seeing a screen that has just the one?
I
Just the
see the
one.
screen with all three, the one that's right in front there. Yep. How
Oh,
about
no,
this, like,
not all three buildings, just the,
No, all three logos.
no, just the one logo,
Oh, okay.
just the top one.
Okay, so this, now I've put the building, the townhouse in front. Right? Is that what you want?
No, it's not in front, it's behind the
this is
banner.
something that's extremely minor.
But the library goes over the
Exactly.
circle. The corner of the building goes over the circle.
Hold on, I think I have to stop sharing and then share a different window.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, if you're changing in real time, we're not seeing it yet.
Or actually,
Yeah,
if you
that's
made
what
me
I'm-
co-host, I'll point it out.
No. Okay, so now
Here
you're
it
seeing,
is.
you're just seeing the one where the building is in front of the banner, right?
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, we
that
did not see
corrects
that
a little bit.
before.
That's
Okay,
it.
so the whole thing is kind of wrapped around the church steeple being
Mhm.
in the center of the whole piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we could just move this one a little this way.
I don't think it needs to be moved at all. I just think that this corrects the little issue that I was looking
We
at.
weren't seeing that before, Patty. It was not on.
This
Yeah,
looks-
I
this
didn't
is it.
realize I had to stop sharing and share a different window.
Yeah, that looks
I like
perfect.
this.
Yeah.
So the one that you guys, Jenny and Jim, were commenting on earlier had this Southborough in blue, but I'm afraid that it wasn't gonna like pop out enough. Actually, we can look at that.
I think this is good in that the other ones which had the Southborough MA, I just don't think we need the
No.
MA.
Was, I guess, who was it? Dawn or Vanessa pointed out that we are the only Southborough or something?
But outside of the UK, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need the MA.
yeah.
I agree.
Patty, now that you moved the library, I'm wondering if it should be the exact same differential from the townhouse to the church.
Right.
have the library,
I
that
don't know whether
space
you're
right
seeing
there.
my mouse, but that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be the same as this space.
It should be. I think that probably the way to do that is just make the townhouse a little bit smaller. Because I don't want it running into the 3 at the top either.
Right, right.
So something more like that, maybe.
Yes.
That's still a little off.
Just a tiny bit. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so good.
Yeah, and the bottom of the town hall and the bottom steps of the library line up horizontally.
Yes, and the church
Mhm.
is kind of a little in front. I mean, I
I
know
love
that's
that.
not the way they really are situated, but you know,
It
whatever.
works so well with the steeple going into the.
Yeah, we're taking some editorial license here.
As you should. I just have to comment that I love the way you treated the sky and the clouds and the gradation
Oh,
of the
cool.
coloring. I just love it.
So we had to get the blue in there because that's apparently the town color.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
had commented on the font on one of them, I think it was, and so you changed it.
It was this one. Yeah, Don, we changed the font.
Is everybody cool with that 300 font and the South Pro font and the celebrating our past, present, and future? We all cool with that? They're all a little different.
I like it, and there's a little bit of a mix of the kind of an
Old and
side.
new.
Yeah.
yeah, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
So
I mean, I
glad you
went
took
with
the
Jim's.
TH out.
I just went with Jim's tagline. Because he was the only one that sent me something, so I thought it was perfect.
That's perfect.
I
I
just-
couldn't, to be honest with you, I spent a lot of time and I couldn't find anything I liked better. I'm just gonna
No.
say it.
It's very
Now,
It was
pleasing.
nothing really profound.
Do you think
As
there
a,
should be a comma after present, though? I've never understood that rule of grammar.
Oh, if you're going by the Oxford comma, is that what it is? Oxford comma?
Yeah.
We could also do this as an ampersand. The and.
It makes it a little too casual, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you want the comma?
I thought it was missing a
Yeah.
little.
See,
So
you know,
if-
when I went to journalism school, we did AP style, which does not use the Oxford comma. So
That's my background too. I don't think we need it.
I don't know. I wasn't
admit
sure. It
being
was
not
like,
familiar. I
ooh,
didn't know
should
what
it be
the
there?
EP
Should it
style
not?
is. It's just
You
I
never,
don't
you
care that much, but
we
rule
see
is
it both ways.
never
So
put
do
it.
you think would be criticized more for having it or for not having it?
I think it breaks up the sentence. The rule typically,
I
Well,
think so too, personally, but
you
yeah.
don't put F right before the end. You may have a series of things that you separate with commas, but the very last one doesn't carry one. That's my opinion.
Well,
Just
yeah, I mean, that's the way I always did it too. You don't do a comma unless it's a like clause. If it's
Well,
ordered.
I think it's that there's no comma before the and, right?
That's what we're advocating.
Jim and I are saying it should be that.
I
Hmm.
like that. I an extra comma. I like it the way it is.
You like what, Don?
I like it the way it is, and if I'm remembering my English classes, that you don't need it. It works. But I'm from a different side of the brain than most of you guys. So
I don't know,
guys,
Patty, I
as,
think it was really, really.
as a committee, can we say that this is going to be it for now?
I move to accept this logo as currently presented.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? I went over this with Vanessa this afternoon, and this falls right into what we were talking about, which is, and we'll get to this later in the agenda, but to have stickers made of a certain size, not very big, and available and for free at our booth at Heritage Day. So it would be able to be shrunk down to not like a postage stamp, but maybe 2 or 3 inches around, something like
Like
that.
a car sticker.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a bumper sticker. I've actually made those. I have a good vendor for them, so we can do some wholesale pricing on that. And
And
you
then, of
probably
course,
want it to be like 4 or 5 inches wide.
but it also lends itself to, like you said, banners.
Mhm.
Might even
We could even do bags, you know how people are always carrying a million things at Heritage Day? And they need bags? You know, those grocery
Yeah,
fabric bags?
reusable. Sure.
Mm.
So,
And-
the motion's been made and seconded. There's been a little discussion. Any more discussion? Other than complimenting
Everybody's
Patty?
good with the fonts, the serif, the sans serif mixture and
Amen.
I think it's the perfect blend of old and new, like the Southborough is the old.
and the 300 is really more prominent than the first draft, and I like it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's no real sharp edges. It's oval and more welcoming.
Mm.
All right, motion's been
Okay.
made and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, Morris, yes?
Martins, yes.
Flashkey, aye.
yes.
Bennington, yes.
Okay. So if that's it for agenda item number 2, we can move on to the next one, which is review updated results of the Google survey. And trying to think who was it you, Jenny, that was going over this with, oh, Patty, you were there this afternoon, right?
I was.
I went
Yeah.
over it, but I didn't go over it with anybody else.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, Vanessa told me, showed me how it was rearranged in a sequence. It's not on the agenda, so I don't want to get into too much detail, but of that change. But I guess it was accomplished in the town hall in-house to just rearrange the data that we
Makes it
already.
easier to read the information. Yeah.
Plus, she just sent recently, and I haven't had a chance to look at it, but remember last meeting, we discussed being able to see from start to finish the individual people's responses.
I think that's what Don's talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it was,
So I haven't,
yeah, it was too hard to link up.
yeah, that was me who
responses.
was trying to say there was so many people with good ideas, but you couldn't tell who was who, so you can't reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, she showed that to me today and it works.
Excellent.
Did you see that, Patty, at all?
I did. And
Okay.
I was thinking, you know, now that we have because we really only had, was it 65 respondents, which is not very many. But now that we have some branding, we can put that on Facebook, you know, the logo on Facebook, we can put it on to, you know, the survey and stuff, and we can do another push to get more people to respond.
The resorting that was recommended at our last meeting and now accomplished resulted in, I think she told me it was 72 pages. And I said, is that one page per respondent? And the answer was not necessarily. It depended on how much or how long and how long their comments were that might spill into a. So some people may have 2 pages and others may not. But it's 72 pages now.
Right. I think that it was somewhere around 63 or 64 actual respondents, because I had actually gone in and grabbed the data out of the PDF that Katie sent me a week or so ago to do the thank you letter, email thank you.
Which was great, by the way. I received mine.
But I was only sending that to the people. So I was only sending that to the people that gave emails and wanted an email response. And I believe there were 62 of them, because there were a few people that didn't give emails or, you know, I guess.
Well, I agree with you, Patty, that now that we have branding,
Yeah.
I was almost like you're afraid to even reach out to people without having
Right.
yeah, and now it's gonna be like, here we are, here's.
Maybe we can make some t-shirts for us. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna wear it to work?
This kind of,
Yeah, yeah. Or also, a golf shirt with the logo.
A golf shirt with it like on the pocket? Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I will give them as gifts to my clients, my
We
new
need some funding
oh,
to do
homeowners.
this. We need some funding to do this.
well, this flows into two things. And I'll get to the funding part in a second, but the first part was conversation that we had about launching too early. I mean, we're early, I guess, relative to some of the other towns. And if we keep pounding it into the townscape, by the time we get to 2027, they may be tired of it. And some people may say, oh, I thought that was last year, because we did too great of a job, you know, making it a big deal. So one of the approaches would be, I think, what we're heading into, but I'd love to hear you guys' opinion as to ramping up slowly and not really quietly, but in a very professional way. And I think we started that with the logo, and then the booth, and then the funding. I asked about that 305 501
501c3.
and Vanessa said that there was continuous progress on that, but it takes time, and it may be into August or a little later before it's able to receive money. So we talked about, well, okay, how much is it going to cost to print or to make 1,000 of our new logo stickers or a couple of banners? And if necessary, just send Ginny the bill, or send Andrew the bill, let him pay for it as a gift to the town.
There you
I mean,
go.
I already started to look at Patty, Rebecca, when she did I have somewhere like a Metro West Legal Services, the golf tournament.
Yeah.
It can't cost that much money to, put together just a simple golf shirt with a logo.
No. I mean, seriously, like, I've done those kind of oval bumper sticker things and, I mean, you could print probably 250 or 500 of them for, less than $100. I mean, stuff like that. Banners, I have a vendor that, remember when during COVID, all the graduates had the banners and we did the library. I mean, even that one I did on the library, which was like 15 feet wide or something, or 20 feet wide. I mean, I think it was $200. So yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is short money. Yeah.
So going back to the logo and melting that into the survey and this ongoing discussion about it. So if you got prices and you told us at our next meeting, or even before that, if we made it a homework assignment, and each of us threw in $100,
But
That's-
wait,
You know what? I
wait,
think
how are you going to promote? How are you going to sell these at Heritage Day? How are you going to use these things that you're going to print?
that's something we should agree on or talk about more as to what might be more successful. We give them away, then they'll be everywhere on the kids' laptops. They'll be stuck on telephone poles. They'll be all over the place, which is what we want. And is it worth just giving them away, or giving them away and asking for a donation or whatever? But if we can't receive a donation by the time it is to pay for those stickers, then we'll just pay for it. You're saying it's short money.
Yeah,
Well,
the
can I
stickers are
just
not.
say something about the fundraising, and I'm sure it's our next topic, but we're gonna have sponsorships opportunities. And as a local business owner, I am planning on sponsoring. So I have no problem. I know you were joking, Dawn, but I have no problem fronting some of the money for
Yeah.
this. If it's just gonna come out of a donation that I'm gonna make anyway.
So
Yeah,
didn't Kathy, didn't
it-
Kathy tell us that she could, the bank account can be set up in advance? So I guess I'm a little unclear of why would you set up the bank account in advance if you're not able to put money into it?
or take money out of it.
Right.
Because
I-
like you say, you have a vendor and the guy's gonna want to get paid.
I almost had the impression from Kathy, I could be totally wrong, that getting the, the paper or whatever from for the 501c3 was kind of, it was a no-brainer, and you can do the bank account and just assume that retroactively for the 501c3. I could be totally wrong.
I feel like I took that away from her too, Patty.
Took what?
That we can accept money.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely took that away from her. So I don't think it's a big deal. The 501c3 just makes it a charitable donation that people can write
Right.
off.
Right.
So that paperwork has to be, in order for them to write letters saying, thank you for your donation of $5,000, to Southborough, Friends of Southborough 300, so that somebody has it for their IRS.
So you
That,
can put the money into the account. You're just not going to get the thank you letter
exactly,
until the 501c3 is done.
right. That's, in my opinion, that's what it means. But I feel like she said we could accept money now. And
Let's
I
go-
will confirm that with her. But when we are ready to talk about the fundraising, I just have some incredibly great news for
Ooh.
that, so.
Let's go back to the task. And the task is to have at least stickers made, right? If after tonight's meeting or sooner, Patty, you're able to say, all right, if I call the guy tomorrow, if I send this guy, the PDF of this logo, how soon can I get the stickers?
I can look into this tomorrow and send you email with.
Well, do you think it's days,
Awesome.
weeks, months?
The turnaround would probably be a week.
Okay, because we don't want to, it's not on fire, but we don't want to order them on October 1st.
No,
Yeah.
the turnaround is not going to be substantial. I mean, the banners, the people that I do with the banners with, they ship it the next day. And then it's, a couple of days for UPS.
So this is an item that could remain open. We've approved and finally put behind our branding. So now I think the next step is to move on to the next step. And to me, I think the next major step for the public would be the Heritage Day. And we'll get into those other things in the next agenda item. But that's good news. If it's that short of a turnaround, then
Yeah.
we can, we don't have to step on it right away. We could go to our July meeting if we wanted to.
Andrew, when do you need your golf shirt by?
You know what? I'll maybe also ask Christina, because I think she probably has done this too. But
Tomorrow morning, you got a tea time?
no, I haven't golfed in like years. I just maybe the hot weather and I could use some more variety in my
Attire.
wardrobe.
Well, I'm wondering if we could maybe
attire.
sell the t-shirts at Southborough Summer Nights.
Yeah, and also like what if you did something like at the golf course, which has more and more and more people, even just in the little
Ooh.
clubhouse. You once you set up the bank account, you could have a little Venmo, and it's
Mhm.
Sure.
I think even if it's it would mostly be kind of an honor system, but I think most people would pay, like, please make a $10 donation to receive a golf shirt.
The shirts will be more than $10.
Mm,
15, I don't know.
A
20?
golf shirt. probably.
Okay,
golf
all right.
shirts. They're gonna be nice ones.
$40 probably, right? So for a nice golf shirt.
40? Oh, okay. I've had
I don't
ones
know
that are
about 40,
not
that, I mean,
very-
but if you're gonna just talk actual cost, the shirt would be more than that, $10.
Okay, all right. I mean, I've had some that are like, frankly, kind of lower quality, but
Is that what you
okay.
We don't
It's more
want that.
just, you
Can
don't
I,
want
pro-
that? All right. What if
Can
you're a
I
low quality
propose-
golfer? I mean, and you wear a low quality golf shirt.
Can
So
I
what-
propose for an item for next month's agenda B, that we talk about some of the marketing swag that we want to buy, that we wanted to design.
So other than, if you want to give me a list, I can go
Mhm.
and get some pricing based on quantities. So we're talking banners, t-shirts, stickers. So banners,
Bags too.
where are you thinking you would use banners? Like on the table at Heritage Day? And so you want like 4 or 5 foot banner or?
That would be like for the tent, for Heritage Day tent. If we had a tent at Southborough Summer Nights, you
Yeah.
know, something for that. I also think the bags would definitely be something,
Okay,
and those are cheap,
yes,
but useful, because people collect a lot of stuff at Heritage Day and they need something to carry it in.
okay. Is there anything else? Stickers, banners,
Stickers.
t-shirts, reusable bags and golf shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Keeping in mind what I said earlier about launching too early. If we saturate the people in 2024, by 2027, might be sick of it. I don't know. That's where I would ask for your opinion.
or you're building enthusiasm
Mm.
and a potential pool of volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can't be a secret. And if we're gonna get the participation that we want to get, we can't be a secret. We have to be out there. And we have to be able to have content for our social media posts. And
Yeah.
what's better content than the availability of t-shirts now
Right.
that we have?
Of course, where are we gonna sell them?
The t-shirts?
Yeah, just at those specific events. I mean, like, could they walk into the townhouse and get a sticker or a t-shirt?
Yeah, I think we could make them available in a lot of different places. I'd have them at my office if anybody wants to.
Well, if we're talking about, for example, stickers we're giving away, they could be a lot of places that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But things like merch that you need to buy, the trick would be to have some form of a payment scheme, Venmo or whatever.
Something, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I
Great.
think we're still on the Google survey. Did we want to go back over that? Is there anything sticking out since our last meeting?
I think what Patty said is getting more responses and more data will be, like, when you look at those graphs, it's great, but the response rate is so low.
And
Yeah,
that-
we need to push.
Like
we
you
need
said,
to
that
push
might
that.
change with the branding. That might
Right.
change big time.
Exactly.
All right, we can move on to the next discussion item. Next agenda item. Creation of future subcommittees, fundraising and parade. The only change in this was, we asked John to volunteer for the parade and, he said he didn't want to, he didn't feel it was okay to be reappointed. So we're going to need either one of the members on the board, on the committee, which I think we do, to find a subcommittee, put together a subcommittee for the parade. And not sure if we want to do that tonight. Knowing
Again,
that,
I think isn't this where our social media push and another email marketing push could help to say, you know, we're forming this, and this subcommittee?
could do that. This might also link to two the two things that we need, which is two new members on the board, on the committee. One of whom may be the committee's parade guy, much like we thought at our last meeting that John would be. So, and Vanessa and I talked this afternoon about potential new members, military and I guess the at large. So, yeah, a media push would be certainly appropriate, but we also need to see if we can find two new members.
So what if we decide on, you know, like the top 3 subcommittees we need? And then we have somebody like Jim write us a little press release that we can push out to, you know, back
Myself, girl.
and via
Mhm.
Facebook that here's, you know, 3 subcommittees like to get involved in. And also, if you'd like to help steer the entire committee, we're looking for 2 more people.
I'd be happy to draft something, and I think that's the right next step to Don's point about maybe enlisting, not going too fast too soon, but also enlisting people to join via social. That's all good. Of the 75 people that responded to the survey, this unfortunately I haven't seen a summary, and maybe we could scrub this to come up with. I know that some of the people replied that they'd be willing to work on the projects. I think we can harvest those names, plus go to social media and kind of maybe for the next meeting assemble a list of candidates, so to speak. Whether or not they're included or ratified, this might just be targets that we've absorbed.
So one of the stats I saw from that survey was, one of the questions was to, you know, contact me or not right now, I think it was. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 60% said not right now,
Now.
which is unfortunate. But what we could do is we could take the emails of the 40% and send out the same kind of a letter that we're going to put into social media and my Southborough, but specifically personalized to them, asking them to be part of a committee.
And list the committees, and then they can actually suggest that
Exactly.
they can
Right.
tell us what.
Well, I have good
Jim,
news because I have the fundraising committee all set and done.
Kate told me
It's an amazing
that she
committee.
was recruited.
Oh,
It
excellent.
is just a stellar committee that I'm so excited about.
So we said 3 subcommittees. We've got fundraising,
Mhm.
parade, and what was the third one? Media?
Fundraising, parade, and well,
I
maybe
mean, I think media is a good committee, to be honest with you. I think that would be a good committee.
or maybe we start with just 2. I mean, if those are the 2 most important. Well, no, we're not looking for more people on fundraising committee. Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm done.
Okay, so we're looking for parade committee and
I do think the media committee would be great.
That's probably the most important one. It probably even beats the parade at this point, in my view.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you have all different kinds of media. You know, you have email communications, you have social media, you have the media for the fundraising component. I do think that's a good one.
The one,
maybe we should call it the PR subcommittee or something.
Uh, Communications.
Communications.
That sounds more IT. Isn't media like a really broad term?
It could be media and communications, because communications is, you know, letters and invitations. Like, for example, we do a gala and we do an invitation. The media committee is going to be in charge of doing up the invitations and the communications around it, that kind of thing.
To me, media is all encompassing, but it's simple.
Media.
Okay,
So our next agenda will show this tonight's agenda item listed in the same words with an additional word, media, as a subcommittee. And those are the three subcommittees that we have as our top priorities to get going. And of course, the one that's maybe the most is the fundraising. And we're all set.
so Jenny, are you gonna tell us who's on there?
Yes. So first of all, I started off by calling Kathy Cook and I said, I would like to pick your brain. Because I want to put together a really cohesive group of people, different ages, but people. And I said, I have some ideas. And she said, well, you can make me one of those. I make that idea, one of me, part of your idea. And she volunteered. She wants to be on the committee. She does not want to chair it. So I started off with a win right there. Then I met with Karen Anglem. She agreed. Julie Conley, she agreed. Kate Battles, Alan Belniak, and
Who's the last one?
Alan Belniak.
Oh,
So I have, in addition to myself, Kathy, Alan, Karen, Kate, and Julie.
Wow,
People.
that's star-studded.
It really is.
Excellent.
And we are meeting Monday night at my office. One of the questions that they had was, this isn't going to be, you know, anything where we have to do minutes and all that. And I said, no, you're a subcommittee.
I don't know,
And,
is that true, Andrew?
and that's why I
I
wanted
think
to.
I think it's worth checking with Jim Haggerty on that. I know
I'm not sure that's not true, Jenny.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hate to be a
Well-
downer, but I'm
And you,
me.
does subcommittee people have to be sworn in?
Ugh.
I
Jim,
think
Jim Haggerty is the expert on
I
this.
think they
You
at least
better-
have to
you really
have
should-
something in writing that says that they're on that subcommittee. So that it's not just hanging out there in the wind.
Yeah, Jenny, I think you
Yeah.
need to check with Jim. They might
Okay,
have to be
I'll do it
sworn
this-
in, and you have to file a public meeting notice, which has to be done 48 hours in advance.
Yeah.
48
I
days.
wonder whether the whole thing could just be done through the 501c3 to avoid the whole rigmarole of doing
That's
that.
what I'm hoping. And I feel like when Jim Haggerty first told me, I think it was the day I went in to get sworn in, and he said, you guys are going to want to start up a 501c3. And I kind of feel like he said, because it'll make your fundraising world
Yeah.
so much easier. So I'm wondering if it can fall under that umbrella.
Well, he'll be there until noon tomorrow. Maybe you could go ask him.
Yep, I will. I'm gonna put that right on my calendar now.
Back to you, Andrew, on that. If it's a subcommittee and it's just works under the 501(c), can any of the subcommittee members be non-residents?
If it's run through a 501c3, so it's not a public body, I don't see why there would be any requirement for, you could have people who are not Southborough residents.
But, you know, there's plenty of former Southborough residents.
Sure,
that-
sure.
The neighboring towns, Hudson, Northborough, Framingham. So if they're not a resident, but they spent decades in Southborough, they
Yeah.
may be wanting to help, but if they're excluded because they're not a resident. So that'd be a good question too, Jenny.
Okay,
Subcommittee,
resident.
residence requirement or not? Yeah.
I mean, I'm really hoping that this doesn't have to, yeah, I don't want this to be a heavy lift for them. And
Yeah.
if it's all of a sudden minutes and,
Also, all you're doing is you're just raising money for a 501c3. That's it, right? It's not
Exactly.
making policy about anything
true.
or
Yeah.
yeah. So, and that's how I'm gonna frame it to Jim, but I feel like I remember him saying it's just gonna make your fundraising life so much easier.
Well, that's also because then they can claim it as a tax deduction, which is they
Yeah.
donate to the committee, they can't.
Right.
And if you're gonna get large business sponsors, they're gonna
They
want
need
the
the write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we had planned, I really, I think the summer is gonna be very hard for me to be able to get a lot of meetings. But I said I would love to just meet, have an introductory meeting just to sort of, get us, our sort of, so we know that how we're gonna hit the ground running when it comes time to do that. And I think everyone on this committee should be made aware of when we're meeting so that you can attend at any time. But then that gets into the ADA compliant and all that.
Well, there's
Like,
also always Zoom. That's, oh, and I don't think you were finished, Jenny. I interrupted about the residence requirement. I think you had some additional info.
Just that, I got a lot of information. I did meet with Chris Robbins too, and he gave me a lot of the players from St. Mark's and New England Center for Children and Bay and but I just feel like the players that I have on this committee are know who the players are in our, because Julie and being on the EDC. And I feel like we are going to be able to hit the ground running. I did want to mention that as a committee, we're probably going to come up with our sponsorship package that obviously I would want to get approved from you. So whatever we come up with, I'm going to be the liaison that brings it to the committee for the decisions, the ultimate decisions.
Anything else, Jenny?
Is it okay? I mean, once I talk to Jim Haggerty and find out exactly how we have to handle this moving forward, I will just send an email to the committee and let you know what he says.
yeah.
And let you know if our plans to have a quick meeting on Monday go forth.
So can I make a comment?
Mhm.
In the meantime, I texted Kathy that question about,
The 501c3.
yes, can we accept the money and put it in the bank and use it without the official 501c, just not send the thank you until the paperwork is done? And she said yes.
Beautiful.
So yes, we can start collecting money.
And spending.
Spend. Don, you seem excited about that part.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why we're collecting the money so we can spend it, right? For good things. Get us out there.
Just as a kind of a pacing question, we've got these 5 merchandise ideas, swag ideas, I guess. Would we have a reason to, other than maybe the stickers, would we have a reason to sell them at all at any time before Heritage Day? Because if not, if we're saying, let's just start building into this, maybe launch it Heritage Day in a big way, social media on the, the groundswell stuff we're doing now. If that was the case, we'll have time for the 501(c) to be done. We'll be able to, collect money. So all of this, all the pieces, fall into place for most of this. I don't know, for example, I'm ambivalent about whether we need t-shirts and golf shirts and any of that stuff before then, or maybe we just save it and launch the whole thing with some merchandise at our table at Heritage Day, the bags, and just make it the
I like
kickoff.
that idea. Yeah. I mean, you always have Southborough Summer Nights next year.
Patty, I see Sam Stivers has his hand raised up in the audience.
Oh, does he? Oh, so let's see.
Yeah,
Allow,
before we go to Sam, Jim, you said we had 5 merchandising items?
Yeah, I read banners, t-shirts, stickers, bags, and golf shirts.
Oh, okay, t-shirts and golf shirts, two types of shirts.
Well, golf shirts have collars.
Right.
at least the ones I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
Okay,
could-
go ahead.
Without a collar, you can get away at a municipal course, but not most places.
Right. Yeah. Go
so
ahead, Patty, if you want to bring in Sam.
do I promote him to panelist or just allow him to talk?
Andrew, absolutely not. Just allow him to talk, right?
I think we should just allow him to talk.
Okay.
I'd love to see Sam. Come on.
Very dangerous, guys, but I can do a lot of damage just talking. Quick comment about the fundraising thing. It seems to me that simply creating a Friends of Southborough 300, which would be a 501(c)(3), gives you the ability to put whatever group you want together, not be subject to the open meeting law kind of stuff. And we have several of those groups that operate independent of town organizations, library, senior center, et cetera. And
We've already filed the paperwork for that. Kathy had for us.
yes, so that's easy to do the paperwork for it. So to me, that gets around the open meeting law stuff, and you just have to be careful not to have a quorum of your committee members attend those meetings.
Okay.
And you might ask about that. I would think about
quorum.
proposing something like that, maybe checking with Kathy to make sure that works, as opposed to asking Hegarty or anybody else. Much easier if you say, here's what we want to do. I assume there's no problem with it, as opposed to what do you think we ought to do? And one other random thought as I listen to you, I don't know if you've talked about this. I've not heard it. I apologize if it's repeating, but it seems to me the outcome of this whole process after the thing goes through the cycle and has the celebration, et cetera, I think it'd be great to have some sort of a memorial is maybe the wrong idea, but maybe some monument or something in Heritage Park there as a reminder of the celebration, the process, which I think would be a useful thing for fundraising. I think that it'd be motivating for people to say, kick in some money to actually put together the Tricentennial Memorial at some appropriate location there. So just a thought, but it sounds like you're off to a great start. So that's all I had. Thanks.
You're right, Sam. I think at a couple of meetings ago, we talked about almost exactly that there'd be some type of a public display that would capture that the town had turned 300 and similar to what other towns have done and have it there for another 100 years.
Great. So good for fundraising. So thank you. Good work. And I'll sign off. Thank you.
You're an official Tricentennial groupie now, Sam. Okay, so I have 2 homework items so far. The first of which I didn't write down yet, and it'll come to me. The second one is that Ginny's going to check in with Jim Hegarty to make sure that you can legally have that meeting on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was, Patty, you were going to check with your vendors on pricing for that logo.
So we're going to start specifically with the stickers.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a thunderstorm rolling in here in a little while, so I might lose you guys. So that's Patty's.
What kind of quantity do you think? Like,
I think you should get breakdowns of.
yeah, but where do you want to start? I mean, we've got 10,000 people in the town, right? So, I mean,
1,000.
500, 1,000,
1,000.
2,500 kind of
See
thing?
what the different price breaks are.
Yeah, all right.
The good thing is they don't have a shelf life. They're good for a couple of years, several years. I might lose you guys. It's coming in.
Okay, so I also, Kathy is not in the audience, but she's on speed dial here. So I asked her if the fundraising committee can work for the 501c3 versus the committee in order to avoid open meeting law issues. And she said we can add people to the board and then they would be acting for the 501c3.
I
don't
think
know
she
if you
means,
wanna
hopefully she
add
means the
all
board of
those.
the 501c3, not the, not. this
Oh,
one.
oh, I think I see what you're saying, Andrew. Yeah.
We
So
might
she
need,
has 2 people on the board so far.
there's 3,
Well, her, Janet, and Claire.
correct.
So if she added the
You'd like
subcommittee,
adding another. But I don't know that. I don't know, you know what? Maybe,
I'll get clarification on
yeah,
Jim's end, and then I'll report back.
yeah, I'm not sure that it makes sense to add everybody from every subcommittee onto the board of the 501c3. Yeah,
Are we good with that one? Subcommittees, discussions?
yeah,
Yeah, Don, I think, and one that I would be interested in working on, I think we don't need to form it now, but is like I don't know what the term would be, but historical events committee. I'm still working slowly on this idea of trying to work with the schools to do oral history project, and where there'd be maybe some student involvement in this that would help to generate maybe some essays or little features on smaller aspects of Southborough history. And I think that's something that could be appropriate for a subcommittee, where you'd be asking people to volunteer who are really interested in this, but they wouldn't have to attend all the meetings of the main Tricentennial Committee.
They would be, well, I guess, responsible for providing a product. Whether-
Yeah, and the product would be like, I've always thought one of the things this committee could do is throughout the whole year, you would have a series of maybe like lectures sponsored by the committee, one every month, 2 months, something like that.
Mhm.
And it takes time to think about what would be there's going to be a mix of different topics both month, and I think one of the themes is, the way you would do this like 100 years ago is very different than the way that, you're going to do this now. And you do that in a thoughtful way. You pick the right people to help generate ideas, etc. So that's something that I'd like, a sub focus that
You're appointed, Andrew.
okay.
I love that idea.
Andrew, we all know that you're, working the schools. Do you feel that now that the schools are out, that you're gonna be kind of on, I don't know, chill until September, or is summertime a better time?
I just don't know yet. I don't know. But
Okay.
this is one of those things where I don't like, we're still in 2024, right? This is something really, the best time to do this would be more like 26, right? So it's just a planning thing.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay. So,
So basically, you're saying that you'd like to be part of a historical committee as part of the
Yeah.
subcommittees.
Historical events.
Yeah.
I love that.
And another thing that we could do that helps to kind of publicize things is, this is something that we talked about at the select board recently, is just making sure we're kind of keeping in touch with each of the different committees and it's very helpful sometimes to just have a meeting where either it's just the chair or the whole committee, as many people or as few as you want, just come, get on the agenda, just give a quick status report about what the committee's doing. You know, I can do that under a member's report, but sometimes it's makes more of an impact when everyone comes. And you know, it's just really like a 10-minute thing, but definitely people will remember it more than just someone providing it under a member's report.
Well, that's a good segue to the next agenda item if we're done with the subcommittees for tonight.
Okay.
So the next meeting suggestion is July 17th. Vanessa can be there for that one, but the following week or 10 days, she's away. So she just put that down. I don't know what everyone else's schedule is, but I think at this point, it's okay for me.
The 27th,
Question.
you say?
The 17th.
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 I,
That's,
I may
works
have
for me.
to Zoom.
you what?
I may have to Zoom, but I would be able to attend by Zoom.
I'm gonna be away on vacation out of the country through the 23rd. So if you push it a week, I'm probably good.
Vanessa says she is not available on the 24th.
Right. I think it was 18th to the 26th or something like that. She was not around. Do you
Good.
guys like it that we're meeting once a month? We don't skip any time, or?
I mean, we
Well-
can do it without her also, right?
What about the 30th or the 31st?
Fine here.
You're not there?
I should be fine for those. I'll be back.
Is the 30th a,
It's a Tuesday. The 31st is a Wednesday.
yeah,
Of the two, I'd prefer the Tuesday. If Jim, I don't know if that works for you.
That's fine.
that's the 30th?
30th.
And when is Vanessa back from Colorado?
I thought she said the 26th,
Okay,
or that'll be the last day she's out.
okay.
So, she told me that the new rec department director is coming on board on July 1st. And thought that it might be a good idea to have him as our guest speaker at our next meeting, so that some of the things that we were talking about here, like summer nights and stuff, we can, and other things, Heritage Day and stuff, that we should grab him before other people start consuming him. So if there's no other suggestion, then I'll ask Vanessa to invite him to our next meeting.
We had also talked at one point about having Brian and or Carla attend, and I guess they had one or the other had expressed interest.
Would you want to have two guest speakers in July?
I mean,
Push them into August. Maybe in August we'll have more of a feel for the 501(c)(3). I don't.
I think keeping to the just once a month, even if it's short meeting, is better than once you get into August, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks. You're gonna have so many people gone. It's hard.
no, I think he was saying have the rec department in July
okay.
and
Okay.
Brian and or Carla in August
Okay.
versus both the same month.
Yeah, and I guess if the rec guy says he can't make it on the 30th, then we'll see if we can get Brian or Carla as a guest speaker. I ran into, so this is still part of the next meeting discussion items maybe. I ran into an old, long time Southborough family, husband and wife, and got talking about the 300th and so on. and was told that they have a enormous collection of old Southborough photos. And they also, and these are people that I grew up with, you know, and they're actually older than me. And they said that there was another person who still lives in Southborough, who also has a collection of old Southborough photos. I don't want to mention their names because I don't have their permission, but maybe between now and July, I can get a hold of them and see if they'd be willing. Actually, first people I talked to said that they'd be more than happy to provide and share the photos. So I was saying that if we were able to, we would ask them if we could borrow them and digitize them, and start that as kind of a separate archive or thing for you know, showing the people what the town looked like, probably at least in the last 100 years.
Would that kind of fall under Andrew's committee? Be part of the historical?
It might. I think if they're willing to share them, then I would use their names and their availability for the pictures at our next meeting.
Great.
I couldn't believe it. I've known these people since I was a kid, and they instantly said, "Oh, we got 1 million old pictures of Southborough." It's great.
Outstanding.
You see the trees blowing back there?
Mhm.
Yes,
I don't know if that's coming to Southborough, but it's coming
I
here.
hope so.
doesn't look good. The sky is getting darker here too.
Mm,
So, everyone, we're gonna try for July 30th.
July 30th.
sounds good.
Okay, and the rec director, if we can get him. Any other matters properly before the committee? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded.
All right, very good. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Morris, yes.
Martins, yes.
Burns Fury.
Dennington, yes.
Blaschke, aye.
All right, thank you.
Oh, Patty,
Great
thanks so
job,
much.
Patty.
Great job. And
Patty.
you screwed yourself by being the Zoom person.
That's fine.
Great job. Thanks.
Okay, we're all set?
We'll
Thank you.
see. We'll see you on the internet.
Have a great week, everybody, or month. I'll be
Alright.
in touch soon.
And safe travels.